afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2013. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Samantha Townsend. In today's headlines, Tarleton State University will be having their annual Team Up to Clean Up. Construction projects for Stephenville Elementary's on way. Officials on Thursday identified a woman who was killed earlier this week in a tractor accident. Connecticut's governor signed to pass the gun control law. North Korea now has nuclear weapons that are authorized to attack the U.S. Elvis Andreas to stay with Rangers, and the weekend's weather. In campus news, Tarleton State University will be having Team Up to Clean Up today from 3 to 6 p.m. The campus is expecting many volunteers to participate in helping make the campus look more beautiful. There will be teams of 5, and the team that collects the most trash will receive a grand prize. Other prizes will be awarded to the remaining teams. The goal is to pick up as much trash and recycling as they can to clean up the campus before Texan tour. In Stephenville regional news, according to the Empire-Tribune, there is a great deal of action stirring around Stephenville Independent School District. Elementary campuses with progress of construction projects in full evidence. Charles Ratliff, job superintendent for Chamberlain's Construction, said that they are the most part on schedule. What appears to be walls now loom behind the school's existing cafeteria, but those walls are actually insulated concrete forms of ICF. The ICF technique is noted as a durable option in construction that makes for a quieter and more energy-efficient building. The system resembles hollow styrofoam Lego blocks, but the foam is actually called polystyrene, which is known for its excellent insulating properties. The forms are assembled much like building blocks, and rebar is put into the hollow spaces in the middle. The resulting walls are scheduled to be filled with concrete Monday. And now, today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, officials on Thursday identified a woman who was killed earlier this week in a tractor accident as Wanda Louise Thompson. Thompson, who was 67, died Monday afternoon when she fell from the front loader bucket of a tractor she was riding and was run over by the vehicle. According to authorities, the accident occurred at Thompson's home in the 300 block of Rabbit Hill outside Lorena. An investigation of the wreck indicated that Thompson was riding in the front bucket of the tractor driven by her husband down a hill when the tractor struck some kind of pothole, bouncing Thompson from the bucket to the ground, said McLennan County Sheriff's Deputy Matt Cawthon. The jolt also caused her husband to bounce up in his seat, putting the tractor into neutral. The chief deputy said Cawthorn described Thompson's husband as very distraught and the incident as a tragic accident. A service for Thompson is scheduled for 7 p.m. Friday at Grace Gardens Funeral Home, 8220 Woodway Drive. In national news, Connecticut's governor signed to pass the gun control law.
We have come together in a way that relatively few places in our nation have demonstrated an ability to do. In some senses, I hope that this is an example to the rest of the nation, certainly to our leaders in Washington who seem so deeply divided about an issue such as universal background checks, where the country is not divided itself. When 92% of Americans agree that every gun sale should be subject to a background check, there is no excuse for representatives or senators who don't come to the assistance of those that they are elected to represent. We can never undo the senseless tragedy that took place on December 14th, or those tragedies that play themselves out on a daily basis in our cities. But we can take action here in Connecticut, and we can make Connecticut towns and cities safer, and this bill does that.
I can't begin to tell you how much it means to us that our voices have been heard. We have said from the outset that we want Newtown to be known not for our tragedy, but for transformation, and this law marks the beginning of that turning point.
In international news from the Associated Press, North Korea now has nuclear weapons that are authorized to use to attack the U.S.
From the airwaves of North Korean television, a warning from the country's military that it has been authorized to attack the U.S. using what it calls smaller, lighter, and diversified nuclear weapons. That reference to smaller weapons, a hint that the nation has improved its nuclear technology. This is the latest war cry against the United States. South Korea says North Korea has moved a missile with considerable range to its east coast, but says there are no signs an attack is coming.
The U.S. and Republic of Korea have continued to coordinate very closely. And I fully expect that under your leadership, we will continue to have great cooperation.
The Pentagon says it is deploying a missile defense system to Guam. At the same time, North Korea says it is restarting a plutonium reactor it shut down in 2007. All of this ramping up of rhetoric seen by analysts as a way for young leader Kim Jong-un to establish himself, creating an image of strength. Lee Powell, The Associated Press.
Now for sports. According to the Associated Press, Elvis Andrus has made the decision to stay with the Texas Rangers in order to win a World Series with the team that brought him to the big leagues. His agent, Scott Boras, is on board with his plan, encouraging him to make his own decisions. On Thursday, the Rangers announced Andrus' new deal that will keep him around for another 10 years. He will be paid $120 million over an additional 8 seasons and an option to continue in 2023. He says that Texas treats him well. Andrus could have possibly become a free agent after the 2014 season, but now will not be able to until 2018. The Rangers also have limited trading power, whereas long-term deals usually include no trade clauses. Andrus is guaranteed to receive $15 million per season from 2015 to 2018, with the 2 years left on his current deal at more than $11.2 million. Andrus would earn more than $131 million over 10 seasons. And now today's weather. According to the Weather Channel, today will be a high of 71 degrees and a low of 51 degrees, with a 0% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow will be a high of 80 degrees and a low of 56 degrees and 0% chance of precipitation. And Sunday will be a high of 83 degrees and a low of 60 degrees and 0% chance of precipitation. Today's broadcast was produced by Ann Traub, Monet Gerald, Ashley Eller, and Kendra Gear. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter and check us out on our website at www.texannews.net. I'm Samantha Townsend. Tune in Monday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.